All right, yo. I was listening to something earlier. Sparked an interesting thought. And somebody said that Michael Jackson was probably the second most popular person in the history of Earth. What do you think about that?
Who's first?
Jesus Christ. I mean, it sounds fun, but, you know.
So Michael Jackson's the most popular person ever.
Second.
I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I feel like he hit a different stratosphere of fame.
Yeah, than anybody ever.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, you got, shows in Vegas at major hotels that are people impersonating this dude.
Yeah, I used to work there.
Yeah, like
it was dope.
You've been dead for how long? 10 years, something like that?
I don't know.
Been dead for a minute. And you still got people.
That's not long ago because he died. I got out of the military. It's 2007. He died on my birthday in 2007. 2008.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could definitely see it. Him being the most popular person ever.
It's crazy to think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's super wild.
It's also cool because sometimes he was a black person, so,
Yeah, for at least the first.
Good for us.
First, 20 years, right? We had him for a while.
Yeah.
We had him for the good albums. Actually, fuck that. Us light skins, myself, we had him for the good albums. That's when
y'all had him for Nah.
We had him for the good transition before he went full crazy. We still got him for what are you talking about? We got him for bad.
No, bad. He was dark skinned.
He was late. That's when he was getting light.
He was dark.
He was light. No, Thriller. He was dark. By bad, he was light skinned. He had the long curls now. He had the straight hair. Yeah, we had him for fucking bad, bro. Light skins had him for bad.
We'll split it 50-50.
Yeah, and then they, the white people, I guess, got him for
the rest,
the child shit, for fucking pedophilia and the nose sinking in, the skeleton man that he ended up being.
All right, moving on. Welcome to episode 14 of the Next Man Up episode, Next Man Up Sports Podcast.
Welcome back.
I am half of the dynamic duo that is Bobby G and Shaka.
How y'all doing?
A few things to cover. We got the Next Man Up of the week. Do some shout outs. I talk about the game last night a little bit. Green Bay, Arizona taking their first loss of the season. Some early NFL MVP candidates. And, of course, we'll talk about, since the NBA is just getting in swing, we'll talk a little bit about their kickoff and this top 75 list that is on everybody's mind. So, we'll give you maybe some dark horse. We'll talk about that and the controversy that goes along with that.
We got some issues. Got some issues with some people on this list.
Yeah. Some surprising people left off, and
I'm trying to figure out. I've been going through trying to figure out what the fucking qualifications were to make the list, and it doesn't seem consistent. At all.
I mean, well, it's obviously it was done by a poll.
Yeah,
just like when you involve so many people in something, you're gonna get that. Everybody has different, has a different rhyme or reason for why they voted for who, or. But we'll talk about that, and we'll give you the thing. I think our criteria was kind of solid.
What do you mean?
When we were talking off camera, you talking about you have to be a 10-year veteran.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about ours, yeah.
Things like that. But we'll get into that later. We started off with Next Man Up of the week, or 2 weeks, or however you want to count it.
Yeah, it's been a while
since last episode.
Yeah, sorry people. Let me speak to that just super brief. That's on me. I had some life changes happen that kind of threw off our schedule for a while.
For the better, though.
Yeah, definitely on the right track. It was a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff going on. We were trying. People see it, y'all know. We were literally trying to film episodes. We just kept running out of time. Because I was having to run here or there, do something else, or it was just...
Life happens.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for that. For those of y'all that didn't abandon us, still listening, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around. Sorry for the delay. We will be back on a normal schedule moving forward. I think we said, Saturdays now?
Yeah, Saturdays.
Yeah, so we're looking at doing probably one episode a week. I'd like to get back to 2 like we were originally doing, but we want to make sure always that we're giving y'all the best content possible.
Yeah.
And so when we weren't satisfied, we don't like rushing shit. That's why we haven't put anything out. Was we didn't want to put out some half-ass shit just to fucking have it out. Like if we weren't happy with the content, we ain't gonna put it out. So sorry for the delay, but like ideally a good movie.
Sorry for the wait too. Was that a good Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for the wait too.
So yeah, just like a good movie or video game, man. We wanted to make sure it was good before we put it out. So hopefully y'all enjoy this, and thank y'all for coming back. Thank y'all for listening. My next man up it's changed a lot, but I'm just gonna stick with the main one that's going right now. Is Steph Curry, man. I'm so happy that the NBA season's going and that this boy is playing out of his mind again. I don't know if you saw the game last night. This dude hit a 1-foot floater 3, just. Cause fuck it,
it's unnecessary.
Yeah, he was trying to, and it was that because we always talk about it. We'll get into this on the top 75 list. One of the things that I appreciate that you respect about my guy Steph Curry is his IQ.
Yeah.
And why would he take a shot like that? He's not showboating. It's that he was trying to get the 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And he looked up at the clock, was like, "Fuck, I gotta get this shot off."
Right.
And so he just threw it up there. But being that he's the greatest fucking shooter ever, it's all money, all cash. But I mean, he's playing great. Got the Warriors without Klay Thompson off to a 4-1 start. Yeah. They lost a nail biter last night to your guy, John Morant, who's also balling right now.
Sickening.
Them 2 boys they're doing it out. They're tied right now for the league in points per game. So they're both at 30 points, 30.4. So, I mean, yeah, Steph Curry's my guy. He's my next man up. That people look out for John Morant. That boy is he coming.
Yeah. I told y'all 4 years ago.
Do you think that the Pelicans are having like drafters remorse going for Zion instead of going for Ja?
Yes and no.
Zion just keep putting on weight, bro. He need to lose some fucking weight. Sorry, go ahead.
But the no part is remember at that time they hired a new GM, David Griffin, the ex-GM in the Cavs. Yeah. So I know him and his style very well. When you're a new GM and you're gifted something like that, everybody thinks it's generational talent, and Zion is a generational talent. I have thoughts on that as well. Generational versus hardworking. Yeah. But I'll just stick to it. It was kind of like the Browns and Myles Garrett. Yes, we needed a quarterback. Yes, you had Trubisky, you had Deshaun Watson, you had Mahomes. You had quarterbacks available. But Myles Garrett was a no-brainer, number 1 pick. Yeah. So it's like, if we pass on a quarterback, we take Myles Garrett and he pans out, nobody's going to be upset. It's like, you had to do it. I feel like that's what David Griffin wanted to. It was like, everybody on earth says take Zion Williamson. So it's like, you can't go wrong. Even if he doesn't pan out, well, he was supposed to take him. Yeah. If he takes John Morant and he doesn't pan out, and then the Grizzlies take Zion, and then dude, you're fired. Yeah. Because what were you thinking? Mm-hmm. So, but if he trusted his basketball acumen, people like me who thought like, yeah, Zion is Zion, but it's like Zion's going to sell tickets. Mm-hmm. To me, Ja was going to sell tickets and win games. It's a point guard driven league. If you have a solid point guard, for the most part, you have a decent team. And I just saw something different in Zion. To me, he was the better leader of a franchise. Yeah. And I see Zion as even you can see it in college. He deferred a lot to RJ Barrett. He deferred a lot to Cam Reddish. Instead of just taking over like Ja didn't have it. It was give me the ball, follow me, I'm taking y'all there. So, but you can't blame David Griffin for making that decision. So yeah. Yeah,
we'll get into those lists a bit more. Yeah. But let's hear your next man up real quick.
My next man up, I should give it to Ja. It would be the obvious. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. Granted, they should have lost that game last night.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I just saw the highlights. I was busy.
But they should have lost. They were missing. I mean, he's missing Devontae. He's missing Lazard, Fantastic. Yeah, like he's missing every excuse to lose that game. And number one, shout out to their defense for actually stepping up and holding Arizona down. But they go down and they get stopped on the goal line, and like 8 plays in a row, basically. And Arizona just came down and tricked it. But just to keep the team in the position, you know, he is the leader of that team. So to keep guys motivated into the game, going, and they were able to pull it out at the end. Aaron Rodgers, man, RELAX.
Yeah,
Mr. Relax. I got this. He had it last night. It was a point in the game, third quarter. He had 71 passing yards.
Yeah. So again, I wasn't able to watch the game, but you know, I still track everything on my phone. And
Like 71 yards
that.
in the third, and like it was deep. It was like 7 minutes left in the third quarter. You're like, Aaron Rodgers had 70 passing yards, and then he just turned it on real quick. I think he finished the game with like close to 200. But yeah, A-Rod, man.
Well, that's actually a good transition, man, because I know we wanted to talk about, you know, our early MVP candidates for the NFL, and those are the two arguably leading the charge, is Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray. So, who do you have as your early, you know, mid-season? I wouldn't even say it's early, but basically mid-season, halfway through, which is this is people. What I was saying, this is the appropriate time to talk about MVPs. I don't care that dude was right. That I was so incensed about, like, in early episodes, that I heard some dude after, like, week 1 or some shit, or, it was, like, week 1 or week 2, like, oh, Kyler Murray's, it should be MVP, and I was pissed. So I'm like, dude, shut up.
He played one game.
Yeah, but I even said that. I'm like, I'm not saying that Kyler Murray can't be that.
Right.
But shut the fuck up about saying it week 1 or week 2. Like, what?
Yeah.
Congrats to that dude. I'll
People
give all shout outs.
Bias.
Yeah, I don't remember what that idiot's name was. It was just on some random sports show, but shout outs to him. I mean, he nailed it on the money. He saw it before anybody else did. So who would you pick? Like, who is your leading candidate for MVP?
We going just one? We going top 3, top 5?
Let's start with who your lead is, and then we can kind of go with the guys that are coming up close.
Everybody get their bananas and watermelons and tomatoes and fruit ready.
What the fuck? Are we playing Fruit Ninja out this bitch? What are we talking
people
about?
Back in the day used to throw.
Oh, you got
it's
cabbage, man. It wasn't fruit.
It was fruit, tomatoes, but they threw whatever they had. But
cabbage.
my number one would honestly be Trayvon Diggs.
Oh, okay.
Like
DB for the Cowboys.
Yeah. An interception in every game.
Yeah. Is that what 8 now? 7 or 8 for the season?
With 3 pick sixes.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are 5-1. He's a huge reason for that. The defense is turning around. He's a huge reason for that. He's on pace to break the all-time record for interceptions in the season.
Yeah.
Despite what people may think about the Cowboys, like the man is balling.
Yeah.
And the defenders usually don't get love, so I'm gonna give him some love. Trayvon Diggs would be my lead MVP candidate right now.
I like that pick. I like that. I wouldn't put him up there, not from a lack of merit, but just literally what you said. Like, I know that realistically, even if he deserves, he's not going to get it.
Right, he's probably not going
to. What was it, the year? Who was the last defensive MVP? Was it Strahan?
No, he didn't win. I think it was
he didn't win it. He didn't even. It was honestly. That's what I'm saying. So like even when 80s. Michael Strahan, set the NFL sack record, he didn't get MVP.
No.
And it's like, and that was on a dominant Giants team that went to the Super Bowl.
Aaron Donald didn't get it the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl.
So I'm like, I wouldn't be able to put him up there, not for a lack of merit, because 100% that dude is critical to their defense right now.
Yeah.
But I just know he won't get the love, man. And that sucks.
Right.
That sucks. So
you get it here though.
I mean, I hope he at least gets some votes. But I mean, fuck, if Russell Wilson,
unless he has a massive drop off,
can't get a single vote. Russell Wilson has still not gotten a single MVP vote in his fucking career. So I don't think they're gonna give one to Trayvon Diggs. I would laugh my ass off.
If he stays on the, let's say he finishes the season with like 12 picks, like 6 pick sixes.
You'd have
and the Cowboys finish like 13-4, something like that. Yeah,
you'd have to have him in the conversation.
Yeah.
For me,
I know where you're going.
I got it. It's a tie for now. For me, it's a tie for now.
It's happened.
It's a tie pending Sunday, and I'm going with slightly ahead Aaron Rodgers as my number one.
Wow, A-Rod over Brady.
That's what I'm saying. Until Sunday, Brady is. Before last night, and again, not seeing it, but just seeing Aaron Rodgers pull out a victory with no wide receivers. Like, I knew that going into the game. I'm like,
right.
I picked the Cardinals to win. I'm like, I was stupid to bet against Aaron Rodgers, but I wasn't really betting against him. I'm like, he doesn't have anybody.
Yeah. And betting against the defense.
Yeah, I saw
stepped up.
Yeah, I saw it was like a video meme or whatever. It was like the dude, some athletic kid throwing the ball hella far down and catching it himself.
Yeah.
It was like, it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers tonight. He's gonna throwing the ball to his fucking self. And as you were just saying, he had 71 yards. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
He had nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
And still, managed to beat. And it wasn't a slouch of a team. It's the number one team in the league.
Oh, which
on the road.
Which reminds me, let's toast, because, like I told you, one of the greatest traditions I believe in sports. The 72 Dolphins always get together when the last undefeated team loses, and they pop that bottle. So
another year, holding strong.
Toast, shout out to the 72 Dolphins.
That'll be starting up they were rounding out year 50. Mm-hmm. Man, 50 years. Like, that's a whole crew. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now the NFL has made that a little bit more difficult because you got the extra game.
Yeah.
So,
well, I didn't think anybody could do it this year. I mean, the Bucks had the best chance given they had an easy ass schedule, but I still think that the Cardinals they got to be the best team in the league right now, regardless of that loss. I think that the Bills are second, but I don't think Josh Allen is playing as MVP as he was before. He's still having a great season, but why I wouldn't put him higher in the list is for that. So I got Aaron Rodgers slightly ahead of Tom Brady for now. Depending on what Tom Brady does on Sunday, then he'll probably retake the lead. So
yeah, he plays the Saints. Yeah,
so, but I'm saying that I need Tom Brady to keep pace with what he's doing right now, like leading the league yardage. Fair. And if he goes out and puts up another 300, 400 yard game, then I'm like, yeah. If he doesn't, if he has a mediocre game and they win or lose, whatever, then it's like, all right, I'm stick with Aaron Rodgers. But
fair.
If Brady keeps playing like a fucking man possessed, because again, if they win, it'd be a 3-way tie at the top of the league with them, the Cardinals, and the Packers.
All right, so you got round number. Who would round out your top three? Who would be the next two?
Well, I guess it would be all three, man. It would be Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Got to give Kyler Murray respect where respect is due. Again, he is playing fantastic. The Cardinals just suffered their first loss.
Right.
I didn't expect this out of Kyler Murray at all. So he's earned every ounce of fucking respect that he's gotten this year, and he's earned a hell of a lot from me. So he would be my number 3 right now.
All right.
What about who would round out yours? So you got Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon. I would probably go with Dak.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Over Aaron Rodgers.
Because I don't think people expected him to play at the level he's playing at coming off of that injury.
But even I mean, it's your list. It's your list. I don't want to. I was right about to be like, I was going to try to argue with you about your list, but I was going to be like, you even said that. Go ahead.
Yeah. But coming off the end, like Aaron Rodgers, I expect Aaron Rodgers to A-Rod. But coming off the injury, I'm like, he's going to get slow. And even with the smart coaching adjustment by Mike McCarthy to start running the ball more, it's actually made Dak more efficient.
Okay.
So he just stands out that much more. And I don't think anybody on earth expected the Cowboys to be 5-1.
Yeah.
That's not a Cowboy fan.
Right?
Yeah.
6-1, yeah. So, I mean, it's I can see it. Who's number 3? Who would round out to the top 3 for you?
I would have to go Derrick Henry.
I had a feeling you was going to call that.
And it's weird because I don't even think he's like overall a top 5 running back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's the driving force behind their team. And the wins that they've had, it's been him. Like he's been leading the way, so you got to give him credit for that. with the extra game, he'll probably end up breaking the single season rushing record. And with the 1,000 carries he's going to get.
Well, this is why we took some time off. In a shocking twist of fate, if y'all were listening to us and place any bets on things that we say, we're not ever advocating for that. I had somebody get mad at me for that. They're like, oh, I lost my parlay because you picked the Broncos. And I'm like, why are you making bets on what the fuck I'm saying?
And why didn't you listen to me and not pick the Broncos?
Yeah, so we're in this. Fuck you. I'm not going to talk about the Broncos. That's a side note. I don't want to go on a rant. Definitely ruined one of these attempted episodes because I went fucking ballistic on my team. But I'm not going to talk about the Broncos because I don't know what we're doing this season. You probably won't hear me talk about them until we fire Vic Fangio. If we get rid of him, I'll talk about the Broncos. But until with that, piece of shit running the show, I'm not doing it. But I was going to say, in a shocking twist of fate, if y'all listening to us about MVP picks and you're going out and making bets on that, somehow I'm the safe bet. So I'm picking all basically the favorites. Any of those three are probably for sure going to get it as far as Vegas odds are concerned. Whereas if you pick with my man Bobby,
I pick who should be there.
Yeah, you might get some great odds on that, especially on Trayvon.
Oh my God,
you probably get some fantastic odds on that. So
you probably get 10,000 to 1. Probably better than that.
Shit, don't tell that to Kevin Malone from The Office, man, because he'll immediately jump all over that action. If they give you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it. Oh shit! All right, moving on to what, man? What we doing?
Another quick take on football. Trade deadline's coming. Trade deadline's next week.
Oh,
NFL trade deadline.
It is.
You see anybody making any moves?
Well, we got it on the 2nd, right?
Yeah, so it's Tuesday.
Shit.
There's been talk all week about the Dolphins having finalized the trade for Deshaun Watson.
I heard that fell through. Like I was reading something. Oh no, it was the Panthers. The Panthers decided against it.
Yeah. They said multiple teams were interested, but basically, it's been Miami's show from day one. Again, you know how I feel about the whole Deshaun Watson situation in general. Yeah. So I'm not really. I don't mind if you do. I just don't want to speak on that because that still makes my blood boil. I mean, from a football standpoint. Yeah, if you have an opportunity to get one of the top quarterbacks in the league in his prime, yeah, Tua was not the. Now you talking about GM with regrets? There's one. Oh my God! Passing on Justin Herbert. For Tua, and me and you both talked about that draft night. Like we both were just like, "Yo, don't take Tua." Yeah. Like that dude should not. He needs. Yeah, you know how I feel about players coming into the league with injuries as it is. And that was a major injury. Talking about your hip was out of place, bro. Come on now. How old are you? That's not supposed to happen until you like 70, 80 years old. Talking about my hip's out of place. Like, come on, son. You 20-something years old trying to get into the league, and you got yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't think it will go through. Yeah, this takes a conversation not only between the Dolphins and the Texans. It takes a conversation between the Dolphins and the commissioner. Yeah. Or even if you do it, you have to do it with the understanding that he may not be available to play until next season. Mm-hmm. But if I was a GM, I don't think I'd be willing to give away the assets it would take to get him. With those question marks, right? Yeah. With the question marks. Yeah, is he going to spend the next 20 years in fucking prison? Like, that's a huge question. This ain't like the Kobe Bryant situation where it's like, it's just one girl. Not that makes it any less. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of them people. Like, but it's like, okay, he's dealing with one situation. You got 22 different individuals all got a problem with you. It's like, those are, you're not going to be in Dr. Buss's situation of being like, are we going to bet against our horse and shit? They were like, nah, we're going to take Kobe Bryant's word. We believe him. As that played out, whatever, they made the right call. With Deshaun Watson, I'm like, he got to dodge
He got to turn into Neo from the fucking Matrix. How many bullets he got to dodge for him to be good to go? Because again, you only need one. Yeah. Out of 22, we live in Vegas. Those again, the Kevin Malone. I'll take those odds. I'll take the odds that one of those girls is gonna have enough evidence to prove that he did what he did. Yeah, they don't take all 22. Yeah, it just takes one. So I wouldn't move on him at all. But I understand you. I get that the Texans are kind of, up shit's creek when it comes to that. Bro.
Yeah. Any other teams you think should make a move?
Yes, and I guess I was lying about not talking about the Broncos. And I'm gonna say something that hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to death, man. I would, if I was the Broncos, find a way on an either or situation, because you can't lose both. I'd find a way to move on, like to trade either Von Miller or Bradley Chubb. Von Miller ideally, and I mean. Not right now necessarily. Like I wouldn't trade Von Miller mid-season, but he is coming into the end of his contract this year. He is now back-to-back times he's having issues with that ankle, with that part of his leg. Right. He's sidelined again. I think they don't want to put him on IR because at this point that would basically end the season.
No, it's only 3 and they shortened it. It's only 3 games.
Okay. But I know they're talking about that because he's in the walking boot and everything else. Right. Same with Bradley Chubb. He's missed the whole season.
Yeah, and this is 2 years in a row for him.
Yeah. So I'm like, if I was Patton, our GM, I'd look at a way to leverage either Von Miller or Bradley Chubb and some draft picks and try to get and make a legitimate hard run at Aaron Rodgers in the offseason.
Offseason.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if you could move one of them to pick up draft capital, like I've watched you enough on Madden to see you're the mad scientist at work. Use one of those pieces like in a way that you would pick up some draft picks, pick up some stock, some easy contracts to offload. Again, Von Miller's coming out of one, so it's like that would be a situation that you could manipulate and just put yourself in the best possible position as the team next year to go after Aaron Rodgers. Sell the fucking farm. Because get Aaron Rodgers with that young core of wide receivers with Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, Tim Patrick keeps balling. He's getting better year over year. Our offensive line is surprisingly holding well this year, like holding up well. Right. Garrett Bowles has only picked up like I think 1 or 2 holding penalties this season. For people that are not Broncos fans, but if you just watch the NFL, Garrett Bowles was our first round draft pick like 4 years ago. Yeah. And this motherfucker has literally led the league at like historic rates in holding penalties.
Yeah, and I don't know how because there's a picture right now of him holding Myles Garrett last week. Yeah. Jesus Christ. And they didn't call it.
Bro, I don't know. It got exhausting. You remember I would watch the games and it was like I'd see a flag come and I'd call it before the ref did. Like fucking Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay when we still have them take off 40, 50 yards. Yeah. See the little yellow flag come up and I'm like, holding, number 72, every fucking time. So he's holding up together well, not holding. He's holding up together. Like offensive line. I know he's injured though, but we have a decent enough offensive line to protect Aaron Rodgers. It wouldn't be, especially with him losing Bakhtiari, it wouldn't be a downgrade for him from what he currently has in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. But it would be an upgrade minus Devontae Adams at every position on wide receiver. Mm-hmm. The fit for Aaron Rodgers is not the argument here. It's can we fucking get him? And if I was Patton, I'd be looking, unfortunately, Von Miller's my fucking favorite dude, but I'd be looking at him and being like, hey, you might have 3 or 4 years left on them legs, and I'm going to try to get what I can for it. And if I can get Aaron Rodgers, who might have 3 or 4 years left on his, fucking taking Aaron Rodgers. So I think that the Broncos need to do something now to put themselves in a position to make a legit run after Aaron Rodgers. Because if we don't, then fuck it. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, I'll probably just cry. I won't even watch football next season because I have no idea what the fuck my organization is doing. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I hope that they hear me somehow. And ideally, I don't want them to lose Von Miller. I'd rather, if you can give up Chubb, give up Bradley Chubb, because he's not proven. He's not a Super Bowl MVP. He's not, he can't stay on the fucking field. I'd rather lose him as an asset than Von Miller. But Von Miller is obviously, because of everything I just listed, the more valuable target. So, sorry for that. That's the last time we talk about the Broncos until, again, either we make a major trade or fire Vic Fangio, a combination of both. And I'm done. No more. That's the only trade I want to see. I want to see my team make a fucking choice on what we're doing. Like, even with the Browns, like when y'all were like terrible, at least you had some kind of a plan. It's like, all right, we're just going to keep sucking and get these picks. Yeah. We're just going to keep getting the number one pick. It didn't work out. We're going to get the next one next year. The Broncos, it's like, what are we doing? We're not sucking enough to get good enough picks, but then we're not playing well enough to be in the fucking playoffs. And then there doesn't seem to be any direction on how to change that. We're just fucked. Hey, we suck again. Anyway. Sorry, guys, this happens. This is the rant. I'm upset. I'm upset about my team. So let's move on, please, before I NBA top 75. Shit. My bad.
One track mind. Nah.
Because I was.
I'm thinking.
Shit, my bad. I got on that rant. I was upset.
You know what? I'm gonna try and think of something that would actually be really interesting.
I thought, because I thought you were talking about the trade with Deshaun Watson and the Dolphins. I thought that was your take. My bad. That's right.
That was just on that.
Yeah, my bad.
Here's one. Inner division, so I know it would never happen. The New Orleans Saints. If I was the New Orleans Saints, I would try to trade for Matt Ryan.
Why?
He's a better quarterback than Jameis Winston.
I mean,
it's probably not going to cost you a lot draft capital wise. You could probably couple third, maybe a second at best. You already have a solid enough defense. I think your season is going better than you anticipated with Jameis holding it down so far. If you get an actual quarterback in there, because their issue is they can't get the ball downfield. You know what I mean? Jameis is playing decent, but he's having 150-yard games, 170-yard games. Like, Matt Ryan now opens your playbook back up if you're Sean Payton. He's basically just a tall Drew Brees. He's got about 3-4 seasons left in him. Maybe that helps you smooth things over with King Guard Mike, because I think that's his big issue. They didn't have a plan post Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And as a receiver, your quarterback matters.
just a lot.
Right. So you bring a guy in, I think they're in contention for the next 3 seasons. So I try and make that move now.
Yeah. And again,
I would try and do it now before the offseason, because some unsuspecting team like the Texans, they're going to go out, they're going to spend money in free agency and be like, we can get a guy like Matt Ryan that could just come in here and you can be in competition. Versus right now, I think you can get it maybe a third and a second, couple of thirds, maybe one player, and they can compete for a wild card spot.
Yeah, but the big problem with that is obviously, as you said, the inner division.
That's what I don't think would happen.
Yeah, but that would, Michael Thomas needs something. Like he definitely, I feel like Michael Thomas, this is going to be my wild, I'm going to just throw this out there and I hope I'm right. Or I might place a bet on this or some shit. I think we might see a scenario where Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers are on the same roster this coming off season. I can see it happening.
I don't see that happening.
That'd be
it's like $80 million worth of contracts.
Fuck it, man. Go for broke, literally. You'll make it back when you win the Super Bowl. You'll make it back when you upset the Dolphins, 50-year-old record, because you got them 3 boys on the same roster. Healthy, good luck. You wouldn't even need a defense on the other side of the field. You literally would not need a defense. Just them 3 boys in an offensive line, and you're going to win every game. All right. So that's your big trade. You think that...
That's what I would do before the deadline. Yeah. If you're going off season, I would use your boy as a chip. Miller? I think Zach Wilson.
Oh.
I think the Jets, while his value is still kind of high, while people think he can still be a good quarterback, I would try and go after Russell Wilson.
And that would be a first for me. I would be shocked to see a team use the number 2 overall pick and then trade him after his rookie season. That would be.
I would do that.
That'd be shocking.
There's a rumor. I don't know how much truth is it, but Dan Patrick has confirmed it and so has Chris Sims. The year we drafted Baker, that we were in talks with Seattle to trade Baker trade the number 1 and number 4 pick to Seattle for Russell Wilson.
I mean,
I don't know how I feel about it. 'Cause this is pre us. We didn't have Odell at the time. Yeah. We did have Landry, but we would not have gotten obviously Baker, and we would not have gotten Denzel Ward. So I don't know how I would feel about that.
I don't see a Wilson for Wilson trade. Sounded like I'm fucking Tom Hanks. Wilson. I don't see a Wilson for Wilson trade happening though, because Russell Wilson doesn't turn the Jets into a playoff team. Like, he makes them better, but they're still garbage on defense.
You don't know what else they could do in the offseason.
But if you give away your number 1 chip to go and get a better but older chip, you don't really have a lot of wiggle room after that. So I don't see.
Got like 8. He's only 32.
They legitimately need to go out in the offseason to pick up like 11 new defensive players. They just need a new starting core. Just that's what they need to do. They need to go and find a way to convince, like, I don't know, maybe the Carolina Panthers. Be like, yo, can we just swap defense for defense? Like, not even just all of them. Just all 11 of ours, just switch teams. Like,
I think Sam Darnold would be kind of pissed at that.
Yeah. Sam Darnold might retire. He might pull that, why do I always forget that motherfucker's name? The dude that retired at halftime. Just said, nah, I'm good.
Oh, who was that? I remember, it's right. I'll think of it.
This is not Vernon Davis, but it's something along those lines. Like,
it was in Buffalo.
Yeah. Didn't fucking come back out.
Like, I ain't got it no more, coach.
Played that first. Like, that's
real.
People hated on it, but I'm like, that's the realest shit you could fucking do. Like, you played the first half, we're just, nah. Yeah, none of this is going the way it's supposed to. I felt that, dude, the last time I tried to play basketball. Because I didn't play for like 5 or 6 years after college. Mm-hmm. I tried playing when I was up in Reno. And just like that, dude, man, I was running down the court on like a semi-fast break. Yeah. Mind you, I hadn't played ball at all. I hadn't even touched a basketball in like 6 years. But I'm running off, muscle memory and shit. Dude, I went to I don't know if I went to stop or like go behind my back. I don't know what I was trying to do. I know in my head, I saw it going the right way. My body just did not respond. Bro. Next thing I knew, the ball was like 20 feet away from me. I'm like sliding face first. And I was just like, yeah. I didn't play. I didn't finish the game. I got up, took my shoes off, and I'm like, yeah, this is not, I clearly cannot do this shit anymore. And so, yeah, like that, dude. I feel like that might fucking happen with Sam Darnold. You traded the Jets defense for the Panthers. He might just, nope.
What is this, New York South?
Yeah, I'm not.
Come on, son.
I'm not coming out of the locker room. He'll throw a fit. I'm not coming out. You change it back. You change it back to how it was. I'm not coming out. Like that South Park episode. Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet. Oh, I'm getting controversial. Sorry. All right. Are you ready to move on to the NBA top 75? We need to get a soundboard. So you can just have it
on NBC.
I feel like I'd rather see you with a soundboard instead of a laptop just pressing random shit. Like
copyright issues.
Like that Family Guy episode when they have fucking Stewie in there just hitting everybody. It's Beazle in the morning. Beazle in the morning.
That was the whole show.
Oh shit! So with this NBA's top 75, do you want to tell me who your five surprises are? Like, do you have 5? Like, guys, you look at this list and you're just like, what the fuck is he doing on this list?
Yeah. Number 1 would be Paul Pierce. Anybody who knows me knows how I feel about Paul Pierce.
Gotta get that hate out your heart, son. That's what you always fucking say to me.
It is. It's Paul Pierce is so terrible. Like, but honestly, a surprise to me is I'm surprised Ray Allen made it.
You're
I think
Ray
he should have.
Allen
I did not think people would vote that way.
Why?
I mean, he's one of those guys where it's like easily, not necessarily forgotten, but easily taken out of consideration for things. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, if you ask any random person, who the top 5 shooting guards of all time, I think one may say Ray Allen. But then you'll say, what about Ray Allen? They'll be like, oh, yeah, Ray Allen.
Oh, I get what you mean. Because nobody thinks about him as a shooting guard. They think about him as just a shooter.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even like, and depending on
How
purpose,
old you are.
like I remember
Milwaukee Bucks, Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Giving people the business.
Yeah, you'll talk to somebody and be like, oh, he was just a spot up shooter. It's like, no, Ray Allen had a handle, bro.
Yeah, like
Ray Allen used to drive the lane and
Yeah.
yam on people.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. For
Yeah.
those that don't remember, Jesus Shuttlesworth is the truth, man.
Yeah, or people remember the Celtics and they'll forget, like, he carried the Seattle Supersonics. Yes, the Seattle Supersonics for like 7 seasons prior to that.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I'm surprised
That's why
that
it was called
he
the
made
Big
it.
Three. It was like, he was a beast,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I know, because he came afterward. I'm tripping.
Nah, the Big 3 in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Ray Allen, KG,
him
and Paul Pierce. It was Rondo I'm thinking about that came in afterward.
No, he was second year player.
I'm just saying, like, the original.
KG saved his life.
Ray Johns?
Yeah.
Oh, how?
Because when they were having discussions about the trade, Kevin Garnett stated he actually talked to Danny Ainge and he said he can't be a part of the trade. Rondo was going to be initially a part of the trade, and KG said no, keep the African dude because he couldn't pronounce his name. He had just seen him play. He's like, no, we got to keep the little African dude.
John Rondo's not African at all.
That's KG though.
Yeah. It's just like, yo, I want him. I don't know who he is. I need him.
Was that 2?
Yeah. It don't necessarily got to be 5. Just what are you surprised? I have quite a few.
Slightly surprised Dame Lillard made it.
Yeah.
Again, the whole respect thing. I don't think he gets he does, but he doesn't. Like on a national scale, I don't think he gets enough. I think over the last 2 seasons, his profile has been majorly upped, but I did not think it would be to the level where he would be on this list.
He's one of the ones I disagree with. And I love the shit out of Dame Lillard. But I do not think he's a top 75 player. Like, I don't see where he's earned that. Because, again, it's not just about how long you're in the league. You know, we talk about accomplishments or popularity, but for me, it's like accomplishments, too. Like, what have you done? Like, you have to have achieved certain things. Like, not all of them, but you have to have some of them for me to be like, yeah, I can't put you on the, top 75 if you don't have some of these qualifications. Like, as we talked about, 10 years in the league, an MVP trophy, Defensive Player of the Year trophy.
Right.
Super Bowl.
If you are in the NBA and you have a Super Bowl championship, you are
talking about trying to give it
man.
to LeBron and shit. I'm still mad on a completely different note that fucking Drake has an NBA championship ring.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. For people that don't know, yes, Drake the rapper has an actual NBA championship ring for him.
Yeah, that he earned.
Yeah, because he's the Toronto Raptors official ambassador. So it's like when they won their title a few years back, he got a ring. Which is just crazy. Like, dude really is on top of it.
That's dope. That's dope for the culture.
The dude's just always on top, man. But yeah, so you got to have a championship ring, or like you led the league in scoring more than once, like a one-time, like no, not a one-off, but like you led the league in scoring multiple times, like something. And I'm looking at Dame Lillard and I'm like, bro, you're nice as hell. You're one of my favorite players to watch in the league.
Right.
Everybody knows about Dame time. But I'm like, you have yet to lead the league in scoring. I know you got snubbed numerous times, so to speak, for the All-Star game, but did you? Because it's like the dudes that went in front of you, it's not like they didn't deserve it. But even at that time, you weren't like it was a no-brainer Steph Curry's going. So it's like if you're a question mark, how the fuck are you in the top 75 list? If you've been a question mark on numerous occasions to where you had to come out publicly with your annoyance about getting snubbed from the All-Star game, Kobe Bryant never had a problem worrying about that. LeBron James ain't spent one motherfucking season of his life wondering if he was going to make the All-Star game. Neither the fuck is anybody else. It would be a galactic incident if LeBron James didn't make an All-Star game when he was healthy. People would be like, dude, what? Wait, stop and shut up. No, everybody shut up. LeBron's not on the list. How?
So you got questions about Dame?
Yeah, I got questions about Dame.
Who would be somebody comparable that you could see on the list versus Dame? Maybe not a swap, but just a compare. Okay, if he's on the list, how come this person isn't on the list?
Yeah, I got one off the top, man. Because I had to double check. Tracy McGrady.
Okay.
Why is Tracy McGrady not on the list, but Damian Lillard is?
Okay.
Again, Tracy McGrady led the league in scoring numerous times. He was doing work with Orlando. He's gone farther in the playoffs than Damian Lillard ever did. Like, I think he got barely screwed out of a ring with San Antonio, right? Because he was on their roster for that one season.
Yeah.
I know he wouldn't have earned it. He probably wouldn't. I think he even said he wouldn't have liked getting it that way.
Right.
But
he was when Miami beat him.
It's like Tracy McGrady would be someone that I would instantly replace on that list.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like hijacking, but you're only at 3. My bad. It was just I didn't mean to interject. You got more?
You're good. But going along the lines of I was saying, I would if Damian Lillard's on the list, I would compare that to somebody like Kyrie Irving,
who's not on the list.
Right.
Oh yeah, and you sent me something about this because let's get into that.
Yeah, there's something going around the interweb.
Interwebs.
That apparently Kyrie Irving was on the list of 75 and was taken off. I don't know how much truth it is to this.
Yeah.
But if you Google Kyrie Irving top 75, there's a video because the Brooklyn Nets made videos for Kevin Durant and James Harden, who are on the list.
Yeah.
They also made a video for Kyrie Irving. If you follow that link, it does go to the Brooklyn Nets website and it has like the technical, sorry, this page, blah, 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 blah. Do you think Kyrie Irving actually was on the list, and because of all the COVID and the vaccine stuff going on and his issues over the last few years with the organization and with the NBA in general, they kind of Kaepernicked him and was like, let's take him off there.
Yes. I think that Kyrie Irving, and I have a lot of fucking opinions about this dude.
Ever
since the first time I heard him say that he believed the world was flat. I still, I know that he's tried to walk it back like last year, but that it took him years to walk back saying that he was a genuine flat earther. I'm like, I have issues with Kyrie before I go on a fucking rant about that. But I definitely think 100% that his off the court bullshit that he seems to just be embroiled in every single season. He's doing something stupid or there's some conspiracy he's touting. I believe his off the court nonsense definitely overshadows what he does on the court.
Okay.
Because it's always like he's just always surrounded with negative shit. And it feels like, for me, unlike other people that kind of just happen to be wrong place, wrong time, he seems to just create situations that are just dramatic. Whether it's with the Cavs and him talking shit while LeBron is still there, then going to Boston talking shit the whole time he's there, to like forcing his way out and going to the Nets and then having a fucking issue with James Harden coming in because they had beef and this, like, he's just always causing fucking problems. Yeah. So I think that his off the court stuff definitely overshadows how brilliant of a player he is on it. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, especially with how serious this pandemic still is, because people, it hasn't stopped. Just as a heads up, it's not over with. And I think that with him basically being a perpetuator of, false narratives about things, I would think it would be a bad look for them to put him on this list.
Because when you look at him, when you just line up their careers, and Kyrie's been in the league 1 year longer than Dame. Mm-hmm. So he was drafted in 2011, so he hits your 10-year mark. Yeah. This year would be his 10th year. He is arguably the best ball handler in the history of the league. Mm-hmm. Some would, if you made a list, he'd be no worse than third to me. One of the best finishers at the rim in NBA history with either hand. He's been all NBA third team. I don't think he's ever made first team. He's a champion.
I think he has like an above 20 per game, points per game average. So
has
first career people.
Right. Has been a clutch player his entire career. Goes with him being a champ. A lot of people think he could have been MVP of that finals over LeBron.
Myself included.
Yeah. So it's like
he hit the game winner.
Yeah. And really outplayed Steph Curry in that whole series. Mm-hmm. And Steph Curry didn't have a horrible series. He didn't have a Steph series, but
yeah, Steph still had his numbers. Like he was still averaging almost 30 a game, but it was fucking bad. Like
if you look at it, Kyrie looked like the better player in that series. I'm not gonna say overall, but in that series. They
forced, again, agreeing with you, like they forced Steph Curry to do what he's not comfortable doing, and people, that's gonna sound weird to people, but he does not like being a volume shooter. Yeah, like Curry, like his IQ, he likes taking good shots, not a lot of shots. Yeah, there's gonna be games where he's feeling it. Like last night, he put up 23 point attempts, but he was still 7 for 20. And again, a lot of those misses were late in the game. Like he went 0 for 6 down the stretch. Right. So it's like before that, he's shooting 50% from 3. So yeah, he's gonna keep letting that bitch fly. Yeah. But in that series, to your point, like they made him have to put up 25, 30 plus shots a game and dominate that way, and that's not where he's comfortable.
Yeah, and Kyrie was like balling to the point where on the last possession, he's it's me and you one-on-one, bro.
And he knew, and he could do it because, again, even as you talk, and Steph Curry played on that perfect defense. He could not have played better, but he was tired. Yeah, because again, they were making him do a lot. So yeah, Irving definitely looked like a better player in that series. Yeah. I even said it at the time. I thought he should have got MVP. Yeah, I don't disagree with it going to LeBron, but I felt like
MVP of the rookie All-Star game, his rookie year. I think it's 2-time All-Star game MVP. Mm-hmm. Like Dame's never been an All-Star MVP. He's made All-Star team. I think he's made All NBA once. All first team. Yeah. I think he's made second team, third team. So it's like if you put their resumes like side by side, I would put Kyrie, depending on how much you value a championship.
I would just, even if you look at the numbers, they're very similar. You know, to where like Dame has the edge in points per game for the career, but it's like Irving has the edge in assists, and Irving has the edge in steals. Yeah. So it's like, and Irving has the edge in, as you just said, championships and all-star appearances and performances in those games. And so, I mean, Irving would definitely be a person that, swapping out for Dame Lillard, because I don't think Dame Lillard should be on the list. And that's not saying nothing negative against Dame Lillard. It's just saying you are not a top 75 of all-time player. Like, you're not yet. Again, I think Irving is better than you. Tracy McGrady is better than you.
I'm surprised, and you brought this to my attention before. So, Dikembe Mutombo is not on this list. That's a problem for me.
Not on the list. One of hands down the best defensive players ever is not on the list. I'm pretty sure Alonzo Mourning's not on the list.
No, he's not on the list.
Like Alonzo Mourning's not on the fucking list. Like, what are you talking about? The other one that's not on the list, and he just got inducted into the fucking NBA Hall of Fame, Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, I can see not being on the list.
He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but you have Damian Lillard, as we were just talking about, and Paul Pierce on the list. You have Carmelo Anthony on the list, but you don't have a guy who literally just got his fucking Hall of Fame jacket. One of the, again, if you're honest about a list of best defensive players ever, Ben Wallace has got to be top 5. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, again, he was he ran the Defensive Player of the Year award for 3 years running.
I think for bigs. Like, if you include wings,
I'm saying for bigs. Like, you got the
bigs, definitely.
Alonzo Mourning's, the Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace, again, people, he was 6'8" playing center. Yeah. In this NBA, matching up against Shaq. Like, when the Detroit Pistons upset the Lakers and stopped them from having another three-peat.
Yeah. That would have been 4.
Yeah, that would have been their 4-peat. Like what ended the Lakers dynasty was 6'8" Ben Wallace going to work with Shaq. And he's not on the list. He's got a championship. He's got multiple defensive player of the years. Oh shit. And what I just say, how many times have I said it? He just got in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Versus
he's on the list.
I think his resume I will put his resume up against Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi should be on the list.
Tim Hardaway's not on the list.
Yet. I'll say yet. People are going to see this hate, but he got his first championship. He was the 4th best player on that team.
Who?
Kawhi Leonard. Okay. Because you had Tim Duncan, Mano, and Tony Parker. Yeah.
Again,
he's the 4th best player on that team.
Of which, guys, of that trio that you just listed off, Tony Parker's not on this list.
Yeah,
Manu Ginobili's not on this list.
Mano definitely should be on there.
Manu Ginobili's the greatest 6 man of all time behind, not even behind anybody. I was going to say another person that I could easily see being on this list that's not Jamal Crawford. But the knocks for him would be like a lack of championships. We're just talking about 6 men. Yeah. I mean,
he was just a bucket.
Yeah. But I'm like, Manu's not on the list, Tony Parker's not on the list, you're talking about Kawhi Leonard, so continue my bad. But yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
I'll put Ben Wallace's resume up against Kawhi because if you think about it, really Kawhi is just the last 3 seasons. I'll give him 4. His last, once Tim Duncan and all them retired.
As far as him emerging
as
like a
year,
superstar.
Right, his last year in San Antonio, which he obviously carried the team to the playoffs and got Zaza. Going into Toronto, winning that chip. And so it's basically you're rewarding him for 4 years.
Yeah. Because he was real quiet for a while.
Yeah, his first 3 years.
And I'm not just talking about his demeanor.
Right, his game was like he didn't come into the league highly touted. He was a lottery pick, but it wasn't highly touted. Comes into a situation where you don't have to be the best player on the team because you got Tim Duncan, Mano, Tony Parker, Pop, and he was allowed to develop into what he is. But is his last 4 years top 75? I would definitely. And from that standpoint, I would put Dame Lillard above him.
Yeah, but
Dame Lillard, at least he's been the guy from day one.
Yeah, and another guy that I would put on the list, and everybody else, there was jokes about it as well. That like I would take somebody off the list and replace him is Klay Thompson. How is Klay Thompson not on the list? Again, I don't understand how you don't have Klay Thompson on the list. Again, 3-time NBA champion. Multiple, perennial all-star. Yeah. Arguably, and I don't really know if there's an argument, the 3rd best shooter of all time. Because you got Steph Curry, which I feel is undeniable as the greatest shooter of all time, Ray Allen, and then Klay Thompson. And even if you look at the 3-point list, it's them 3 names.
Who would be the comp?
That I would say
somebody.
Give me 1 second. Let me just try to make it fair.
Let's go GP.
Paul Pierce.
He's definitely.
Paul Pierce. I'll take him off.
No. Let's stop
ganging up on Paul Pierce.
Here's a very interesting James Worthy. James Worthy versus Klay Thompson. James Worthy kind of the same thing. They're both champions. Neither guy was the guy on their team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both 2-way players.
I can't believe. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got distracted because Scotty is on the list.
Yeah, Scotty's on it.
Sorry, because I had moved the list or had just cut it off, and I'm like, I was about to have I might have just had like a blood vessel pop. Scottie Pippen wasn't on the fucking list. I might have just been like, cut. I'm done. I'm done with the league. Yeah, I mean, I can see him going instead of James Worthy. No, fuck that. I'm not even going to take James Worthy off because James Worthy, him and he did work with the Lakers. I'm going to take off Anthony fucking Davis. Okay. Why is Anthony Davis on the list? All right. Because again, it's what you just talked about. We were rewarding him for what? The past couple seasons? Yeah. Because he did what with the Pelicans to deserve to be on the top 75 list? And he did what with the Lakers? He's the second best player on the Lakers. I had to pause for a second because I was going to say Alex Caruso just to cause some. He's not on the team no more. He's over on the Bulls doing work.
Caruso.
Yeah. That dude is like the most ridiculous. He's like He's like that dude. Like ideally, I'd want to create for Park on NBA 2K.
He's a better version of Matthew Dellavedova.
He's like that. He's like that dude. I wish I knew. Like as a boy. Like when we were in college and shit.
Yeah. Because
I'd go to every pickup gym with him and just know we gonna run. Because he doesn't look at all like he can hoop. And I would be my hustle. We like that white man can't jump hustle. I'd be like, I'm going to get, I want him. They'd be like, you want that dude? The bald and 18-year-old? Yeah. Because he about to put that bald head through the hoop with you in it. But yeah, I'll take Anthony Davis off the list. What's he doing on the list? Okay. Well, you're rewarding him for being the second best player on a one championship team that won in a bubble. Like, what are you rewarding Anthony Davis for? Is he a great player in the league right now? Yes. He's one of the best players in the league right now. But even at that, we're talking top 75 of all time. And I'm like, I don't believe Anthony Davis is a top 10 player in the league right now. Like, I wouldn't put him in the top 10 guys in the league, period. Like, again, if I had to build a roster, my starters and my bench, like, he wouldn't be in there. So how the fuck is he on the top 75 list? You're not even the best player on your current team. Like... And you haven't been. And you won't be until he retires. And oh shit, he's like 15 years older than you. I don't know. So that would be a big one. I'd definitely take Anthony Davis off. I'd take Carmelo Anthony off. I don't know how he's on the list. That's a popularity thing. Yeah. I mean, I get it. He's a top 10 scorer of all time. So that would be the only way I could put him in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's out of the way his offensive repertoire was second to none.
Carmelo Anthony's filthy.
Yeah.
I hated how he's been treated over the past few years. I think it's all his fault. He shouldn't have left Denver. We didn't know each other at the time, but I was fucking hot. I was literally pissed off. I'm like, what are you leaving Denver for? And you left. Like, they even went out and tried to get AI. And AI was actually playing better. And look, those Nuggets jerseys were the shit. I miss those jerseys.
Those were dope.
The Mellow jerseys. I went out and bought the fucking his shoes because I just liked the color scheme. Worst basketball shoes I ever played in my fucking life. But the color scheme was dope. So yeah, I don't know how Carmelo Anthony would be like a fringe one for me. Like Damian Lillard, no, shouldn't be on the list. Anthony Davis, no, shouldn't be on the list. Paul Pierce, no, shouldn't be on the list. Kawhi Leonard, no, shouldn't be on the list. Like, these are no-brainers for me. And again, I have some. Do you have any asterisks? Because I got a few asterisks. Like Carmelo would start off with, like, I can see why he's on the list, but I wouldn't put him there. James Harden, I can see why he's on the list, but I wouldn't put him there. Like, he has an MVP. He has multiple scoring titles.
Right. He's kind of
he's carried a franchise. And he revolutionized the game.
Yeah, with
for
the step or worse,
like with the fucking travel, but. For better or worse, he's revolutionized the game. He attacks in a whole different way. So I can see why you put him on. I wouldn't. Because I could think of other people I'd rather put in his place. Again, a Klay Thompson would be a comparable swap for me in that spot. Okay. Shooting guard for shooting guard. I think Klay Thompson is a more top 75 player overall. Right. Yeah, James Harden has a much better offensive repertoire.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's the better player. Not only offensively as far as like his efficiency, and we both talked about, there's not a fucker in NBA history that you do not want to ever see even get kind of hot.
Yeah.
If that boy starts, again, people, for y'all that don't remember, this dude scored 60 points and dribbled the ball in the game 8 times. Total. He only held the ball, like they did the math on, he only held the ball for, I think it was like a grand total of like 60 seconds. Throughout the whole game, and he put up 60 and didn't play the fourth.
Which would bring me to one of my friends. He'd be one of my French players, but I couldn't take him off. Reggie Miller.
Yeah. But again, where I was Reggie Miller.
Yeah. Like I couldn't take him off. He would have to be, at minimum, he'd be the 75th person on my list.
Yeah. So like, Reggie would be an asterisk for me. Because again, with James Harden, like you have that repertoire, but you don't have the defense. He is infamously atrocious on defense. Whereas Klay Thompson, again, when healthy, one of the top 5 defenders in the league.
Yeah.
So again, I can see why James Harden would be on there for, if nothing less, his just fucking offense. But I could take him off. Reggie Miller, I would probably put him around the same. He'd hit like that 74, 75 mark for me. Like, yeah.
What about somebody you would want to put on the list, but just there's no way you can justify.
Oh, shit. I just had a bunch of thoughts go through my head. I don't want to be obvious with, with the white mamba. We gotta say it. I don't know how he's not on here.
Scalabrini.
He's the GOAT.
The first person comes in my head?
Oh.
Grant Hill.
Mine was Brandon Roy.
I can see that.
Yeah. I don't feel like we both thinking the same way. Dudes that it's like, if it wasn't for injuries.
Right. Penny.
Yeah.
Even though I think Penny could be on there anyway.
Yeah.
I think a case could be made for Penny.
I know it's just me, but I'd make a case for Brandon Roy. Again, won Rookie of the Year, perennial All-Star. Mm-hmm. Career average was like 24, 25 points per game. Led the Portland Trailblazers deep into the playoffs on multiple occasions. I think it was in 2011, had an unprecedented fucking fourth quarter run that got them past almost past the Mavericks. Like they won that game that forced like a game 7. It was the same year the Mavericks beat the Heat. Mm-hmm. They almost didn't get there because of Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
He literally put up like 24 points in the fourth quarter and overtime of that game, just nonstop. But again, couldn't stay healthy. So it's like Grant Hill, just like Penny Hardaway. Like, how good would these motherfuckers have been?
D Rose.
Get out of here. Yes.
D
Rose had stayed healthy. Oh my God.
He's kind of revitalizing his career right now.
That's like one of the best stories, honestly, for me. Yeah. I was literally just watching an interview with him. I think at your place like a week ago, I was kicking it, and I was watching a video about him. Like, I'm so happy that he's getting some of it back.
Yeah.
But man, MVP D Rose.
It's a problem.
Ooh, if that boy had stayed healthy, yeah. We might have been talking about him as just like in a GOAT conversation if he stayed healthy. The trajectory he was on, as fast as he was on it.
True.
And he'd have been back in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because you know if he hadn't gotten hurt, they were only a few wins away from from getting a title.
And you also had Jimmy Butler.
Young Jim, yeah. Derrick Rose would have had at least a few titles. He'd have no less than 3 right now. Like he'd doing the stuff. If he hadn't got hurt, hell yeah. Because again, that Bulls team, when he won MVP and they fell just short in the playoffs, they were still dangerous and only getting better. Yeah. If he hadn't got hurt, that was what literally derailed everything. So yeah, D Rose.
Here's somebody I would put on the list. There's absolutely no way I can make a case for it, but it'd be dope if it were on the list. White chocolate, man.
Oh shit, Jason Williams.
Yes,
hell yeah.
White chocolate, like just on
on
impact alone.
Fun,
yeah, impact
just
alone.
For fun. Yeah, that dude was.
He was literally the most entertaining player to watch in the NBA for at least 4 years.
I love Jason Williams because little known fact, or maybe it's not little known to me and you, but we old men now. But to people that don't know either Jason Williams, white chocolate for the Kings and the Grizzlies and just beasting.
Yeah.
His best friend, childhood best friend. They grew up together, played high school ball together, almost went to college together. It's fucking Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about a power friendship. Shit, you got one dude went stunted in the NBA and another one who's arguably, in my opinion, the best wide receiver of all time. Like, I know there's no Jerry Rice shit, and I'm not saying nothing against Jerry Rice. I get it. But yeah, I'm a little bit of anti-culture. It's just like, you can say Michael Jordan, I'm going to say Kobe Bryant. I know that their games are almost fucking identical, but I kind of I like watching someone do what you do, but better.
Very identical. It's pretty much stolen.
Mirror is what I say. That's how I'm gonna get around this one. A mirror, but yeah, fucking. Oh shit, Derrick Rose would have been a good one. Shit, who was I thinking about before I got? Not B Roy. I already said B Roy. Mm. Fuck, who would be another good one that's not on here?
That what you would want, but can't justify. Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob.
A major part of every championship he won. Mm-hmm. Will never be counted.
He has like, I got what? 7 rings. 7
and again,
NBA
he
rings.
was he wasn't just on the bench.
Well, for like the last 2, yeah, with the Spurs.
Oh, he was only playing. He hit the shots. He hit the game winner in that series against the Pistons.
He really did, though. I just remember that. Well, he only played 8 minutes a game, but Big Shot Bob. That's all you need him for. Put him in there when you need a bucket.
Yeah.
Or when you need him to throw
about LeBron.
perfect.
I think he was the first player to win a championship with 3 different franchises.
Mm-hmm. I him to throw perfect, like the bullet pass to Kobe Bryant for one of the best dunks. Like, okay, big shot. Robert Horry just because it'll be fucking hilarious. The cultural impact shit.
Yeah. Or the greatest. He had the greatest interview answer in the history of interviews too. It was after when they beat Sacramento and he hit the game winner off of the tip out. I think Kobe missed a shot and Vlade tried to bat it away and he went right to Robert Horry. He just cashed it. And after the game, Vlade Divac said he got lucky. And Robert Horry they asked him about it. He was like, you better tell that dude pick up the newspaper. Read the article or something. I've been doing this.
Robert Horry be a good one. He got 7 rings. The one that I had to just look at, because we talking about Big Shot Bob, they got Damian Lillard on here. I feel like I'm going at Dame Lillard.
It does feel that way a little bit.
I'm sorry.
A little bit.
I'm not, but it's just like, because again, I think Damian Lillard is one of the best players. He's a top 10 player in the league right now. Yeah. But he's not top 75. Because the dude I replace him with, Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey?
Like, come on. Again, Chauncey Billups has a resume that qualifies him for this list.
His coach right now.
Yeah, he's more qualified to be on this list than Dame Lillard. So it's like, or again, James Harden. Like, I could swap out James Harden for Chauncey Billups. Again, because James Harden was floating with that idea of being a point guard and shit. So it's like, that would be comparable, position-wise.
With my last one, I'm going to break the mold a little bit. Somebody that actually I think should be on the list that I can make a case for. You just reminded me. Joe Dumas.
Yeah. So I remember we talked about that. That was, you pointed that shit out to me, and I had to look up the list like twice because you said that he wasn't on there.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. Still
Finals
can't believe
MVP, 2-time champion, part of the Bad Boy Pistons.
Still can't believe it.
Undersized shooting one of the original undersized shooting guards. Mm-hmm. And one of the best defenders, even though he was undersized. Like, Joe D, arguably one of the greatest GMs. Mm-hmm. So it's like, however you want to put him on the list, like, he should be on the list. Like, there's so many. Yeah, I get it. Get Paul Pierce out there. Put Joe Dumas on.
All right, I'm going to wrap up mine with a guy that, for no basketball credit, but should be on the list for what we talking about, impact. Because this motherfucker changed the game. He changed the game. So obviously I ain't talking about Wilt Chamberlain. Uh-oh. I'm talking about Bill Laimbeer. You want to talk about, if you do not talk to me about being a tough human being, if you like as an NBA player,
right?
If your ass didn't play against Bill fucking Laimbeer, because you had to be a different level of tough to get through a game with that dude. For those people that don't understand the Jordan rules, like where literally the game was changed on contact, was because of what Bill Laimbeer and them Bad Boy Pistons did to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, game in, game out.
Let me just put it this way: all these motherfuckers, Ja Morant, love him to death right now. He's balling. You ain't going to dunk on Bill Laimbeer and celebrate. You might get the first one. Come down that lane again. Yeah. For any fucking reason. If you celebrate, you dunk on Bill Laimbeer and you going down the court doing this shit, oh, he'll raise you. He'll show you where his fucking hand is. Like, so I'd put Bill Laimbeer on the list just because, again, cultural impact. Like, that dude,
I can dig
he was the Bad Boy Pistons. Like, it was him being that ruthless motherfucker that they rallied around. And you knew that you had a dog back there.
Facts.
You ain't going at Isaiah Thomas. You ain't going to hit Joe Dumas because you ain't going to want to deal with Bill Laimbeer. And that one boy didn't give a fuck. People want to talk about having no fucks given. That boy gave no fucks. Just elbows. That's my last one.
You take us out?
Yeah. Again, thank y'all for coming back in and checking us out on the next Man Up Sports podcast.
Absolutely.
Sorry that we missed y'all for a couple of weeks, but we just wanted to make sure we had some good content for you. We wanted to switch up the format a bit too. We're trying some new things, so we hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are turned on.
So and leave your recommendations for who you would put on the top 75.
Yeah, absolutely. Please hit us with those comments. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, who you think should be on the list, who you think should be taken off the list, if y'all agree with our picks. And I mean, some of the thoughts that you guys have on our NFL candidates too. Like, let us know what you think about, Trayvon Diggs. And,
vote for Trayvon.
Yeah, vote for Trayvon or Derrick Henry or, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, all them guys. So let us know what you guys think, who you have in your MVP race. And again, we'll be dropping ideally. If I can keep my schedule on track, we'll be out next Saturday. One final thing, I don't want to let anybody forget.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Wasn't gonna say that, but yes, absolutely that. Happy Halloween. Real quick before we go out, man. Fifth Friday. Just want to check in with you because again, we said we're gonna do this every Friday. We mean that. Mm-hmm. We do want y'all to care. I know it's a bit weird. I was halfway through the outro, but just do want to check in with you, man. How you been?
As I know, for a little bit, I dropped down. I was 8 initially. I dropped down to a 7 family-wise. Now I'm back up. Even though I got some sinus stuff going on, but I'm toughing it out. No, I ain't got the vid.
Let's see, you back up around 8 now again?
Yeah. It's been a cool week.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. So again, that's everything, man. Just check in with your people. Make sure that they're doing all right. And again, hit that like, subscribe button.
I gotta give you an update. You got me sharing and being on. I gotta give you an update.
I'm doing all right. I still got some things. I'm working on. Hopefully some stuff can go right. I wanted to give one shout out at the beginning. I'll give it, I guess, right now because it also kind of goes into the whole Fit Friday thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to say a name yet because I don't want to.
Angie.
I want to make sure she's cool with it.
That's not it.
It's not it. That's not it at all. But a huge shout out to a really close homegirl of mine. She's one of the coolest people I know. She definitely checks in. She cares a lot about the people in her circle. She cares a lot about those that she's close to, and she's somebody I hold very close to my heart. So nice. I want to, for now, just give her initials as BJ. I'll talk to her and see if. Yeah, I don't know if that was better, but I'll talk to her and see if I can say her actual name on the air, because I don't want to just be putting it out there for people.
Right.
But she checked in with me. She helped me to kind of keep my head straight. So as far as the Fit Friday, I want to give a shout out to her because she definitely helped, and I think she took a bit of your advice. So please, people, make sure that you're checking in on your friends and family.
Yes, sir.
Again, use us as an excuse. So again, hit the like, subscribe button. Listen for them notifications. Let us know in the comments if y'all have anything that you want us to talk about or where you think everything should be on the list.
Yep, let us know in the comments.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. This has been episode number 14 of the Next Man Up Sports Podcast. My name is Shaka. It's my guy, Bobby G. And let's get him out of here.
Peace.